Right, just to check, I can't catch Mercedes. Aston Martin 24 points behind us. Chat, if they got 4th and 5th, would that be enough if I get no points? What is the permutations on points to get 25 points? We'd be ahead of them on race wins. Wait, it's 14 points. Chat, I can't even count numbers. I'm fine. I'm a son of an accountant. My dad has just disowned me. He just texts me, son, you're dead to me. I mean, as long as if they got 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, they finish ahead of us if we don't score points. There's lots of permutations here. I really wish that the in-game scorecard worked and included sprint race points. That would really make my job easier, wouldn't it? Also, I do just need to swap out the parts. I might need to score points at the end of the season. We might be in a weird situation where in a really inconsequential kind of feeling race, I am desperately trying to score enough points to still be ahead of Aston Martin for 4th. I don't think, for the record, we get sacked if we don't finish 4th. I think if we slip to 5th, we'd be fine. But naturally, we want to do as well as we can to end the year. Our part situation, by the way, it's not great. We are right on the borderline of not being able to make the parts that we've currently got last, but it is going to be fine. Right. We're slow here, aren't we? I'm going to put on fresh softs for these final runs. I really wish I didn't have to do this, but Q3 is looking ambitious for Albon. I'll admit it. I don't want to say deluded, but there's a degree of delusion to it. We're going to follow Carlos Sainz out. Carlos Sainz seems like an intelligent man, so I trust his kind of decision-making. I'm a child. Put some melted cheese on a toasty. I'll love it. You dickhead! It's an inside job. It's an Dennis Alger has just taken Pashare out of Kuali. I am fuming. Both we're literally going. Albon, I hope you've enjoyed this day. It was all about you, mate. We're going out of this session, aren't we? We're literally... Pashare is already out. Albon is going to be out. I'm just times 16. I'm so angry. I hope you're all happy. Yeah, oh, look at that. Valtteri Bottas or Sauber get through. How did that happen? Hauger. At least the season's going to be over sooner. That is mental, innit? It's an inside job. Sauber have taken me out. Right, we can pay out on the prediction. Will Albon make it into Q3? No. No, he won't. We won't even make it out. I can't believe we got blocked that badly. Where are we starting? 12th and 13th. Suddenly, doesn't feel as bad. I think I'm feeling a soft, hard, soft kind of day. I'm feeling... Today I feel soft, hard, soft. The other alternative would be to do something different, maybe with Pashare, just in case of safety car. To do something that's like a hard, soft with Teo. And then if there's a safety car earlier, we can go into the mediums or make the softs last. If that makes any sense. That you know what? I feel like that's probably a sensible idea. Because I feel like on raw race pace, given how we qualified, I don't think we're going to score points. So we need to kind of spread bet. We need to have chips across the board on what could happen. And I feel like with this, we cover a few more different spots for safety cars. Oh, chat, I'm so nervous for this. I don't want to start this last race without Albon, but we got to do it. We got to do it. Verstappen is already world champion. Red Bull have run away with the championship. It's a Ferrari on pole, though. Is that Kevin? It's Kevin! Okay. Here we are. It's 5 PM. Anything can happen. Did you hear that? Chat, me and the commentator said the same words at the same time. That's freaked me out. We both said anything can happen. That is literally the same, like, speed and everything. I should be commentating Formula 1, damn it. Right. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we get on. We've got Joe between our drivers. Stroll is in 4th. Aston Martin need to score 15 or more points today and us not to score already to be ahead of us. Now, sadly for us, this screen here is bugged. This screen doesn't show sprint race points, which we actually have a few of. Aston Martin... Wait. Albon just made 2 overtakes there already. What did he do? Oh my, he's just got 2 with a dive bomb up the inside. My goat. We might be looking at Albon to pull a miracle today. Pachere's on hards. Pacher is the only driver on hards this race. We're not running mediums this race and half the grid are on mediums. Am I doing something wrong? Or are they more intelligent than I?
As soon as I try to race anyone, I just have no shot.
That might be the last time we ever hear that line, chat.
Keep pushing, keep pushing.
Every time something happens, I think to myself, that could be the last time we hear it. Norris, by the way, Lando in 9th. No DRS. I'd hope he has some battery here. He's not got battery right now, though, to stop our GOAT, Alexander Albon, cruising his way through. I wonder, what F1 race in America would you want to go to chat? Miami, Las Vegas. Lando's got us back. Or COTA. I feel like COTA is probably the one that a lot of people would say. Would it be unpopular if I said I'd rather go to Vegas for the overall experience? I could be massively wrong here. I feel like COTA would be somewhat comparable to other more traditional race weekends. Whereas I feel like when you have races at places like Vegas, it's a slightly different proposition. We are fighting McLaren today, which I'm not enjoying. Obviously, Pacher is on the hard tyres, so he is going to struggle to hold guys back with our slow car anyway. But I think we're fine. Everything's fine. Right, let's see how this plays out. So we've got 2 McLarens behind us. There's a yellow flag. Instantly, there's a yellow flag. Who crashed into who? What happened?
Yes, we have.
There's not. I can't see any penalties given out. Oh, it's an Aston Martin. Please tell me it's the Aston Martin getting mudded. Yeah! Sorry, that was way too loud, wasn't it? That was... Is that toxic behaviour? Oh, chat. He's still off the track. And we get another replay. We don't need another replay. Lance Stroll is in the mud. In the mud. Lance is in the mud. Na 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 na. Lance is... And he's been given a time penalty. Thank you to the race director. And the stewards. In Massey we trust. Let's not get too carried away. Let's not get too carried away, chat. Imagine if Norris crashes into Albon now, chat. That would not be funny. Who just said that'd be funny if they crashed? You are an effed up individual. What lap are we pin? Lap 17 for Albon. I forget. Pacher actually here is doing a mega drive right now on the hards. I've been pushing him a bit harder than I should be. So maybe I can go a bit lighter on usage now. But great stint by Teo. I mean, suddenly the stakes of this race, I don't want to say anything prematurely here, they do feel lower. But that said, there is this three-way battle for 8th, 9th and 10th that is rumbling on. We are going to get done here by Norris. I feel like our softs probably are going to start to drop off soonish. What's our wear compared to Joe? It's the exact same. If he's a free agent, chat, what do I do? If he's a free agent, imagine the redemption story when he comes back. Like, Piastri didn't get a drive last year as well, so Piastri might be sniffing out a seat. Piastri was 83 rated and didn't get a team offer. Albon is 86 rated. Is Zane going to stay at F1? I'd imagine he'll have a multiple-year contract. I could be wrong.
Let's take a look at the replay. It was the Williams.
This racing here, by the way, we've been focusing on the wrong car, haven't we, here? Because the soft runners in front of us for Pacher have, like, slowed down massively. Right, Nick de Vries and Bottas are going slow as toffee, it feels like, and we've caught up to them a little bit. Okay, Albon is in the pits. Now, like we've already mentioned, according to our training schedule for our pit crew, 67% chance of error. I think there's something weird going on there. We have that error chance at Vegas. We got 2 perfect stops. Can we have a bit more luck today? You know what? It was an error. It's an error that's cost us 1 second. I'm okay with that. That's fine. In terms of pit crew errors, it's fine. It doesn't impact the gap we're coming out into either. We were always going to come out behind Joe. We're not going to have DRS this lap, but we will hopefully have it for the coming ones.
Okay.
As for Teo is on a really aggressive strategy here. The fact that we're racing a lot of medium runners is nice. I wonder if these medium runners are going to go medium, soft, soft. Or if they're going to go medium, soft, medium, or medium, medium, soft. Could be interesting, that. Pasher right now is chilling with all these medium runners behind him. Pasher is vibing. Well, we might run these hards a little bit longer. Could I switch to a one-stop with him, do we reckon? If pit stop errors are going to be a thing, it's just too marginal. And it also runs the risk that there's a late safety car and everyone dives into the pits as softs, so you've not had enough time to make use of your mediums. I have to two-stop. Oh, is Yuki going to get past here? I mean, he's going to get past now with DRS, and Perez will probably follow him through here. The tyres are getting a little cold. Russell pits from the lead of the race. Ferrari, both cars into the pits. Red Bull already stopped a little while ago to go onto softs. Are they going medium hard? Medium hard for Ferrari with car 1. Medium hard with car 2. Ferrari going for the one-stopper. They did 25 laps on their mediums. I need to do 8 more laps on these tyres for Pasher to run the one-stop, but I just don't think it's worth it. How's Mick doing? Mick is in last, isn't he? Why is Mick not in last, chap? Mick is always in last. Okay, Pasher's going to pit in a second here, but I think I'm going to just push these tyres really aggressively for 2 laps because they've got life in them still. Perez on fresh mediums is going to go past here. But, yeah, we're going to go soft. But I think we can push aggressively for maybe 2 laps on these hards, maybe keeping DRS and Perez. And if a safety car happens, it's the dream. Right, we're in the pits. Pasher, we've already had 1 pit stop error today. We're going medium, soft. Actually, it was hard, so I can't remember what tyre we're on. Good stop. Great stop. Don't drive into the back of the safety car. That would be a problem. Okay, time to get aggressive. We are going to be pitting again lap kind of 40, from lap 40 to lap 45 would be a dreamy safety car for us. Yeah, these cars in front for Pasher are not good for us. We are going to have to make our way through them. I mean, Albon is just vibing on his hard tyres. Going slower than everyone else, but we'll make that up when we go on to our softs at the end. But Pasher's in an okay spot. Like, we're not losing time behind this queue yet. It is a big queue as well. But there is a big mix of tyres and lots of hard runners, which I'd like to think we can get by. Pasher, I can't really tell if he's losing time or not. I don't think he is. Although, ironically, we are catching the back of our own train. What's happened? Why is there a yellow flag? Who's hit who? What's happened? There's no dots on the minimap. Schumacher ran wide. See, the game does already have, like, running wides and stuff. You just don't see it that often. So I feel like if they were to add this into quali... Okay, let's not question what happened with the car there. That looked janky as hell. But I feel like with qualifying, you could add just more running wide incidents that result in times being deleted. I'm not a game dev, but I feel like something like that, it is a feature to add, but there is a foundation to build off to have something like that present in the game. The weird thing with this game is, right, I actually feel like there's nothing massive that annoys me about the game anymore. Like, the blocking is a bit annoying, but I feel like everything that I want is just minor little improvements. I'd love to have more running wide during quali, lap times being deleted in quali, penalties in quali for blocking, and just general fixes to blocking. I'd love to have your drivers get poached, maybe flesh out the contract system even more. I know they've already done a little bit of that on last year. Like, there's lots of little subtle improvements, like have it so your reserve driver impacts your car's setup level going into the first practice session. If you have a good reserve driver in the sim in the week leading up to the race, they are able to better nail down where the car should be set up, giving you a better starting point. Like, there's loads of little things you can do to improve, I feel like, the game that doesn't require, like, massive new kind of features that would be super expensive to do. So, Norris is on hards to the end from here. Chat, do I pit now to get as much use out of the softs as possible, or do I wait out the safety car for bigger gains? So many people are on hards to the end here. I feel like I'd rather make these current tyres that both our cars are on last a little bit longer, especially because right now we're not losing time behind anyone. And then all of that with a view to then be able to run the last tyres harder. Albon's got both McLaren cars right up the chuff. Teo's catching the back of them. Teo's perhaps more likely to lose time. But obviously both our drivers are on identical strats for their last stints. It might be worth pitting with Pichet to see where we come out relative to everyone else. Pichet stands to gain more from pitting early. We've got Perez with us here, though, on fresh hards, who's not slow. I think I'm going to push these tyres into the ground and pit next lap for softs. But everyone else around us, bar Leclerc, is on hard, so there could be some late racing for us here. Okay, Bashir is pitting this lap. He's having a grand old time. Going to neutral now, just so we've got that. So we come out the pits. Albon, still getting DRS. Still getting DRS. Going to come out in 16th is the prediction, but hopefully a bit of clean air. Other nice thing here is all these guys that we're going to come out into aren't in DRS range of each other yet. Most of them are on fairly similar tyre strats, so I wouldn't expect them to close up massively. Applaud the ultras. It's a big stop. It's a very big stop. The more that we're getting good luck with these pit stops, despite me apparently having a 67% error chance, the more I'm thinking that that percentage is bugged in this update. Do we come out ahead of Hauger? Oh my god, we do. Just. That's good. We can push these softs hard as well. How do I think Lando will compare to Albon? Honestly, I expect us to be competing for the championship next year, given the amount of research I've done and the amount of money I've saved to do intense part development. So with that in mind, I think it's going to be very difficult to compare them. I feel like next year, if we don't finish second in the Constructors, I will be disappointed. Obviously, we have got massive reg changes. So people who don't know, in this game, it's basically set up so that for 2026, there is massive reg changes. This year, we did loads of heavy research from March onwards, like crazily so. And I've been upgrading all the facilities rather than investing loads of money designing and manufacturing new parts. It's just been same spec parts for most of the year. Good stop, please. Okay, stop. Nothing special, but we'll come out. Be interesting to see where we come out relative to Pichet here as well. That was Alexander Albon's last ever Williams pit stop. Did anyone else get a lump in their throat watching that? Just me? So there's loads of these hard runners here who are going to be losing time later on. We've gone for this very aggressive strategy. We're going to have to make some moves. De Vries is also on these softs, although his are a little older. I have to think here. Do I tell Albon not to attack Pichet, or do I tell Pichet not to attack Albon? Which driver am I giving priority here? I mean, Pichet's got track position. Maybe I'll let him race, you know? I don't think that the championship is not on the line now, which is why I was able to gamble a bit more on strategy. We are going to get fourth in the Constructors. I thought we were going to drop down, potentially, but Aston Martin have had such a bad day. We let them race, right? Last ever race together, we let them race. But I think we let them race for old time's sake, you know? At the end of the race, we should all stand up and clap him over the line. Hard agree. Okay, lads. Just don't do anything stupid. I'm letting them race. I'm letting you have some fun together, but enjoy yourself by being disciplined. I really hope Hugo Boss and Sauber are better next year. It's depressing how cack they've been, isn't it? It is actually, it's so sad. Look at them, chap. Driving together, racing together, soft on soft action. It's quite a fitting send-off, I feel like, for the two of them. The fact they're both on soft tyres to the end. For 10 laps, they get to race in identical machinery. Are they finally settling the debate of who the true Williams GOAT is? I'm feeling emotional just watching them whiz around the track. I don't know about anyone else. Like, it's quite... But it's just... I feel like standing up. We'll activate the standing desk. It feels like a standing up desk kind of day, you know, to send off the players. I feel like I should be saluting them or something in this. I'm going to push Pichet's fuel a little bit on the straight here. They are actually gaining on Magnussen quite a lot. We've managed to drop the Hasses out of DRS as well, which is really good. I'm going to tell them both to deploy here. I hope I'm not, you know, ruining the experiment chat here by having our drivers push. But I would really like to stay out of DRS on the Haas cars if we can. They're in pretty similar spots on fuel, on tyres, on everything. It's the fairest test I think we'll ever see of these two drivers in identical machinery. Albon probably starting to plateau with his development in game now that he's 29. Could still improve, to be fair. Bashir, still a spring chicken, still improving. Only one overall rating below Albon now. Yeah, we are catching Magnussen. Magnussen is losing a lot of time here, I've noticed. Obviously, we are eating into the best of our softs right now, but the softs are quick. 8 laps on them. We're in a pretty dandy spot. The fact we're approaching Kevin of all drivers, though. Long-term viewers know this. There is a narrative around Kevin Magnussen, an aura around him of fear that he will just take us out. I'm hoping that won't happen. Safety car now would be interesting. Depending on our pit position, I might be tempted to pit for fresh softs. Yeah, when would there ever be a safety car at the death of a race at Abu Dhabi? Too soon? Maybe too soon. Bashir's going for an Albon. Is he going to get the move done? They are just swapping positions here, aren't they, on the DRS zones repeatedly. Who was ahead of who there? Who got the DRS? Albon got it. I mean, the good news is right now we're not really losing time, I feel like, with our drivers racing one another. Racers can finish into safety cars and VSCs. Danny Rick we got to worry about here. He's sniffing around. He's on mediums. Danny, you're on mediums, son. What are you doing? All right, I think with both drivers now, it's high overtake aggression. They're both already on it. That's why they've been passing each other so much. Zhou dropped Lando. The guys in front are getting split up a little bit. Still going to be difficult to pass all these cars with DRS on one another. Especially because I've not got a lot in the pack to actually deploy or anything. Albon's trying to make the move on Kevin! Kevin! What's their wear like? Kevin's at 61% wear. Ocon's wear is much worse in front. I think Albon's got a pretty good spot there, even though Kevin's ahead. Push! 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 I'll be honest, Chin. Asking me for FIFA Ultimate Team advice, which I think is what you've asked for, maybe a career mode advice, 2 laps from the end of the final race of the year. Not the best time to ask me and be guaranteeing yourself an answer. I'm really sorry. Albon's made a crazy double move there, by the way, on Ocon and Magnussen. Push my son. Teo's in 10th, not 10th, 13th. He's up 1 spot. Both drivers can push a little bit. We've got 1 lap left of this race. I want double points. Oh wait, it's 2 more laps for us. I'm not reading the room. What I am reading though is Bashir up to 11th. I need to calm down. Sorry to headphone users. I've got a bit keen there. Bashir, no DRS as things stand. Could be a problem on the straight. I don't really have the battery to deploy here, but we need to do it just to try and give ourselves the best chance of staying in front of a wild Ocon, who is struggling on his odds. Albon's trying to make the move on Pierre. He's really trying. Bashir's coming up behind as well. Albon's going to have DRS on Gasly. Bashir's going to have the DRS as well. Our cars are in identical spots. This is very satisfying. If only that wear was identical on percentages, it would be the same. Albon is up to 9th. Go on, my son.
Here's the replay. Here we are.
Let's get the points.
It's certainly inviting.
It's a massive performance by our drivers here for this late push. I mean, Norris is up the road. We lapped 2 seconds faster than him last lap, but he's 2 seconds up the road. Probably too late. Probably too late. But we can try. Oh, chat. We've done everything we can. Albon is chasing down Lando Norris for 8th. I can't deploy an Albon. I'd have no charge out the final corner. Albon's trying to get the move done on Lando. He's going to take Albon's job at the end of the year, but today, it's Albon's day. He gets the move done on Lando. Pecheur is still trying to make something happen late on here. Albon is up to 8th. Pecheur is still pushing. Pecheur doesn't know when he's beat. He is desperately trying to get the move done on the Renault, but this last sector is so difficult to get by on. Some would argue impossible to get by on. Alexander Albon, clap him in. He's going to cross the line. He is going to secure himself 8th. Pecheur runs out of fuel. Does cross the line for 11th. I mean, we timed the fuel perfectly there, didn't we? I'm glad he stopped on track so we can provide a fuel sample. What a drive by Albon. What a drive. Good drive by both our teammates there, to be honest. He overtakes Norris on the final lap. Is that foreshadowing? Is it foreshadowing? I feel... You know what, chat? It's not normally worth a flute. I feel like it might be worth a flute here, just for, you know, for old time's sake. He did put in a showstopper of a drive today. I do feel emotional, chat. I'll be honest. I didn't think it'd affect me like this. Oh, I'm not jumping for this guy. Who's this bloke? Absolutely, get me out of here. If you cried at home, you're allowed to cry. It's okay. It's a good drive by both of our drivers, to be honest. Lance Stroll did not have a good day. Drivers' Championship. Albon secures himself 6th. Maybe the real meaning of this was the fronts that we had without along the way. This season for Albon, 1 race win, 4 podiums, 2 DNFs, 1 pole position, 1 fastest lap. He finishes in 6th. Pecheur got overtaken by Tsunoda at the end of the season. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Constructors, it's official. 4th. We take that. Given how this season was looking, Aston Martin completely bottled the end of the year. They had an awful race at Kota. In Brazil, they were awful. In Vegas, they qualified horrifically, and they had another weekend to forget here. I mean, we've only got to close down Red Bull by 700 points. It's doable. It's doable. So F1 Manager has an unofficial database editor. This is a tool that you can use to edit the game. But the tool actually has a load of other really, really cool things. So there's one of these things which I think we should have a look at. So sadly, there are no mods to mod pit lane positions, but this is one thing that we can actually have a look at. This is the database editor. It's by this bloke up here, whose name I will butcher if I say incorrectly. If we load up this save game, there is some very cool stuff that we can look at. So here we have the season that just happened. So this is a breakdown of the... This really should be in the base game, just to be clear. But shout out to the F1 Manager community for making stuff like this possible. We can actually have a look at the season that just happened for a bit more context. This is really, really cool. So this was the season that just happened. You can also see it for the previous seasons. So this is how Perez won the season the year before at Red Bull. And obviously 2023, Verstappen won it. But we care about 2025 for the benefit of this. This is where points were scored. Here are positions. Obviously, the brackets is sprint race finishes. It's actually mental, isn't it, how good Max was. Max did not finish outside the top 4 this season. But as you might have spotted from our season here, and this is pretty good context, I feel like, you can see how we got our points this year. Look how many points we got at the start of the year before we started going full-on research. Obviously, Pecheur... he did get that 3rd place in Monza, didn't he? You can also see the DNFs here. Now, the other thing we can actually have a look at here is a comparison of drivers. So for those of you who, maybe you don't like Teo Pecheur, you're going to feel vindicated here, perhaps. So this is how our drivers did throughout the year. Now, I will admit the colouring. I wish that we could look at the colouring differently, slightly. I do feel like Pecheur, don't get me wrong, Pecheur's definitely underperformed versus Alex, but I feel like the graph gets closer through the year. So in races, Albon bested per share 14-9, and qualifying 15-8 in favour of Albon. Points, yeah, Albon's good in points. DNF's 3-2. I love the fact, by the way, that we can look at all these features. And if we want to compare Albon to Lando Norris, we can actually do that as well. So this is Lando versus Albon. Of course, Lando is joining us, as a reminder. I mean, based on this, I feel like they're quite similar, but I feel like Lando, very, very strong driver. So can we look at mixed DNFs? Chat, do you want to see them a Loney v Mick comparison here? This is what people really get. Chat, they've been so bad. I mean, I'll be honest, they've kind of been pretty competitive to each other, haven't they? That is, it's been a great battle. I feel like it's what can be said. They've not scored any points this year. 17th was their best qualifying position for Mick Schumacher. That is a bit embarrassing, isn't it? That is a bit embarrassing. But yeah, if you were wondering, this is a thing. This is also, by the way, how we edit stuff like the sprint races. So this tool, it's not the simplest to use, but this is how I swap out sprint races and stuff. So this is the race calendar behind. Obviously, you can only edit this at the start of the season. It's not the start of the season right now. But I love that you have the standings feature and the comparison feature, because I do feel like it's cool at the end of the season to look at stuff. I mean, I'll be honest, the only reason we've done better than Aston Martin this year is because they DNF'd a lot, I feel like. Interesting that on actual number of races, Zhou outperformed Stroll, but in terms of points, Lance had way higher peaks. Like, he got a second, 3/3. Oh, Kevin. I mean, based on this, does Kevin deserve to keep his seat? I mean, actually, Kevin out-qualified Gasly 15-8, but his racecraft is awful. Well, look, what we're learning here is that Kevin Magnussen just crashes a lot in races and is just slow in races. But yeah, there you go. I mean, Max Verstappen, very good. Max Verstappen won 6 races in a row there. 5 races in a row earlier on in the year as well. I feel sad for Perez. Checo did so well, didn't he, last year, and then got binned off and sent to Merck. But we live, we learn, we laugh.